off the TV, it's way too misleading. Telling them lies until you believe it. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. It don't take a genius to pick up the pieces.
Tell me, do you see it too? The numbers. Tell me, do you see what I see again? Tell me, do you see it too? The numbers. Tell me, do you see what I see again? Stop. Listen. Do you see the numbers too?
Alright. Welcome back to the channel. Sorry about yesterday's hiccups or YouTube's glitches and gremlins, whatever was going on yesterday. It seems to have sorted itself out, but of course you can see the uploadings. Part 1 is now after part 2. I'm sure that's how it was left. Yeah, because I deleted and re-uploaded, right? Oh, however it is anyway, I'm sure you can see the uploads now, yeah? Alright, we're going to start off here, which is just after where we left off, and we're going to pick it back up, and as I say, keep it moving. Again, if you're new here, what we do is basically show you how ritualistically scheduled and rolled out the given realities to us every single day, and find understanding the simple code and practice of Gematria, the practice coding numbers into words and phrases. As soon as you understand the simple code and practice and script that runs within the practice of Gematria, you can truly see how the powers that shouldn't be manipulate, mock, and orchestrate all that they do so ritualistically, and it's just so redundant. Again, there is an organic side, obviously, you know, but they're definitely manipulating the code of the cosmos, if you may. Now, I'm going to start off here with Dave Chappelle. Again, this is going to be same title. Again, this is now part 3. Again, we're continuing from yesterday, of course. Boris Johnson resignation. Of course, here and there we are going to be speaking about old Bojo and the BS that was, and all of them, because they're all just playing a role, you know, chatting shit in Parliament. Yeah, you know, all that noise that they're making there, and their style of banter. All right, and it's just all BS. Is there one maybe wholesome person in there? Well, at this point, I don't know. Maybe if there are wholesome, maybe like somebody like what's her name? Joe. What was her last name? Joe Cox. Maybe she might have been wholesome, and they said, "Wow, we better take her out." You know, maybe one of the last ones. What was that guy that got took out? I think it was last year, right? One of those MPs. Maybe he might have been too wholesome, or they said, "Wow, maybe he's gonna break oath." You know. Who knows? Or for whatever the reason may be. I don't know, that's just speculation. Or they just thought, fuck it, let's take him out for the fun of it. Or because somebody else needs a position that was close friend of them, or him, or whoever it may be. And, you know, they want to get up the ladder of the madness and the satanic agenda of what's going on. So, you know, they need to, you know, do a sacrifice or wear a dress or, I don't know, whatever the case may be, right? You know, come out transgender, do something. You know, and or whatever's been going on at those secret parties, or flights to certain islands, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? You know, they've catched them like that instead. You know, so we might let that out. You'll say that you're the new Epstein or some type of shit. Who knows? But right, straight away, what's the time? I'm sure nigger. It's either with the ER spelling or A at the end. N-I-G-G-A or N-I-G-G-E-R. I'm sure equals 38. Of course, they're speaking about a black man. Again, Dave Chappelle, who's now that I would say is definitely a sellout anyway. I definitely prefer old school Dave Chappelle. I'm not saying that he hadn't already sold out somewhat by the time I was obviously, you know, watching shows like Killing Him Softly. Obviously, I knew him from the movie Half Baked. But yeah, you know, by the time he put out Chappelle Show and stuff like that, then what is it? His dad died, right? Was it his dad that died? Was it a sacrifice or was it natural? Who knows? I'm not a fly on the wall. But you know, it's up for speculation, especially when it comes to these characters that are allowed to be in the limelight. And if you're in the limelight, you know, or you're allowed to make a movie, you know, you better trust me, in whatever you're doing, some way, shape or form, whatever part of the agenda that they see fit for you that you have to uphold, you have to filter in some of the shit what's going on, even if you are supposedly making jokes against it, like somebody like Dave Chappelle, you know what I mean? Yeah. So again, that's why you see so much of certain agendas put in the movies, whether it's, you know, portals, whether it's terrorism, whether it's, again, transgender, fluid dressing, this thing, that thing. You know, it's just there to warp your mind in some way, shape or form, right? Oh, oh my God. And I will be showing that clip at some point today. Definitely. Oh my goodness. I heard something last night and I said, what? Yes, I was watching some of the Fight the Flat Earth, speaking with Mr. Cheswick last night. Wow, at least it was cordial. And he says, funny, I'm going to have to screen record a little portion as well for later on one of the next parts that I show. Because it's funny, near the end of it, it's like, well, you know, he basically treats people how they come at him. And it's like, dude, I was there nullifying. I was nullified how many times, and you was still this type of aggression and shit show that how you was going on the other day before you've even got to even make a show happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, really? Huh. Wow. It's kind of like, do you know, I'm never gonna say that one today. I was gonna say somebody else in my side of the community, but I'm not even gonna say that. I know it wasn't to do with Zach, but it's something I've said before. But anyway, shout out to everybody anyway. And as I say, there's levels to this, and as I say, I can't be entertaining certain things. I'm a point what I was about to say, and I'm gonna play the clip, but I'm gonna quickly say it. Shall I play the clip now? Fuck it, roll the thing, fuck it, let's play it. Because we'll play it again later, because we're going to have other bits that we're going to pick up on, but let's just hear it from the horse's mouth. Hold tight. Alright, forgive the hum, because last night I had my other headphones in, which are louder than the ones that I'm using now. Basically, the ones that are causing the buzz, the mic's not great, but then when you're listening to them normally without recording, you know, I'm not hearing that feature. But again, sorry about that. As I say, it shouldn't take away from me being able to hear what they are talking about in discussion. And what's in discussion here, of course, talking about True Earth and the...
Well, yeah, okay, oops,
hold up.
Why...
Hold up. And the Jesuit order... hold up, let's stop this. Yeah, and the Jesuit order heliocentric, or aka idiot-centric model, as I say. Man, as I say, there's a couple points that I'm gonna have to catch here, and I was like, oh my God, unbelievable. Oh mate, but anyway, let's just catch this bit, and then the other bits will, you know, go along with what we have at the time, rather than me jumping forward with things that's already in my mind that I want to say also right now that's not in this clip. But anywho, let's just hear this, yeah.
I can go, well, yeah, okay, I can see why you...
I mean, I could show you a time lapse of a Himawari, you know, thing over many...
Yeah, no, but I've seen them, mate.
What do you want then? Because I can literally...
Again, that Himawari, excuse me if I'm mispronouncing it, that's just BS as well. Just like when they tried to give us the... you know, like the dark side of the moon clip, and you can see the green screen, you know, like on the edge of the moon. Anyway, I don't even need to bank on all of that, even though I know, you know, that Himawari Chinese satellite, whatever, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, that satellite, that's all BS. All BS. It's just absolutely ridiculous. As we're going to go on to see anyway, because, you know, I've got things to show that will back up what I'm saying, you know, from you guys. It's not, you know what I mean? Obviously not from Craig per se, but, you know, the agencies, the space agencies and whatnot.
Show you the Earth, you know, over months and months and months. You know, what is it you want me to show you?
Point is, mate, right? Point is that when I go to Google Images or the NASA image library, I'm not that impressed.
Who cares?
Yeah, okay.
Honestly, who cares if you're
That's cool.
impressed or not? It doesn't matter if you're impressed or not. You know,
of course.
And I will give him that, you know, I see what he's saying there, you know, of course he doesn't, you know, it's not a subjective thing, you know, at the end of the day, objectively, you know, etc., right? So it doesn't matter what the individual, oh, I'm not too impressed with it. Yeah, I get that. Who cares? So let's continue.
Well, you know, I'm saying for the supposed best
from
space agency in the world, I'm not impressed.
Okay, cool. They really don't. I'm sure that their feelings are going to be very hurt that you're not impressed.
Well, no, I'm sure they're not getting £60 million a day, but you know,
again, that's not really a lot. You know, that's not like there's not piles of money sitting around. That 60 million a day is used for things. There's nothing left over at the end of the year.
From 60 million a day, there's nothing left over at the end of the year. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Space or not, like what in the world? You know, all that money going into on technology and whatnot, do they still get the glitches when they speak, you know, 20 seconds later and shit? Like, fucking hell, they're only supposedly so far up. Again, I'm not saying that there's not something hanging about that flies by. You know, I have used the, you know, the tracking thing before for the LISS, aka the ISS, you know. But, oh man, some of these claims. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
Well, you know, you'd think they could.
Plus, you know, what about the American military that get like 10 times, 20 times as much as them or something, you know?
Yeah. All right, mate. Well, you know, should we move on to point 2 then, or have you got anything?
No, I mean, the thing is, I hear this quite a lot from flat earthers.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all CGI, blah blah blah, but they're not. The very first image I found when you told me to search was a real image of Earth. And then we went onto the NASA library, and there's all the rest of them, mate,
and wasn't there images or photos of a ball before there was even anyone up in space? Like how Universal Pictures would start? Like, how did they know it was already a ball? And didn't one of the first highest, altitude, going up in altitude, obviously, somebody like in the hot air balloon, so to speak, you know, like you got Phoenix Baumgartner, whatever his name is. And of course, you had the fish islands with the, it's now Planet Mexico. But then I thought, and before we get to where he lands, before we continue, my mind's just segueing quickly. Oh, do you know what? I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I have to quickly say it. You know, the whole motion thing as well. Wouldn't planes find it difficult? And then obviously sometimes, I mean, basically to go against the grain, if it's spinning one way, because that's what you're saying, right? It spins one specific direction, yes? So what happens to planes and stuff then if I don't come with that, the air current's taking it, and if the, that's why if a helicopter's hovering, you're not going to notice any difference. Oh, come on. Because it's rotating with the air, and don't even come with no Coriolis and that type of buffoonery. Yeah, that's nonsense, absolute nonsense. Yes, a bullet or missile's gonna drop over time, yeah, and things like that. But just Coriolis, I mean, again, so why don't planes then that do go, because you know planes go in all directions, you know, things in the air, how comes the ones that's going against the spin, how comes they don't have to put on, you know, nitro boosters, or, you know what I mean, to then catch up? Why would they then not just go, you know what I mean? Why would you try and go against the grain when then you can go the other way, or just wait the other way, or hover, and then it's going to come to you? Or wouldn't it be difficult for planes to land? Now, I heard what you're saying with the, what's the term again? You know, with the spin, you're saying that the spin velocity is different if something's so big. Okay, I can give you that slightly, but then let's factor in all the spins and corkscrewing and buffoonery. And okie dokie then, right. Oh my God, don't come up and tell me about maths in my comments and all that type of stuff, yeah? Just deal with your senses. Yes, you can use stuff and instruments to obviously get accurate, you know, determinations with what you're dealing with, obviously, yeah? Obviously. Again, I really didn't want to skip ahead too much because there's more to say, which I know is just instant haymakers and body bags, yeah? Instantly. Before we even get to, are we on a, you know, so to speak, flat surface? Obviously, there's features on there. But anyway, again, Universal Studios showing what they're showing before, as I say, even the guy's gone up. Sorry, that's after, I think. I can't remember if it was before or after, but let me slow down a second. So you got the guy that went up in the balloon, one of the first guys that went up, high altitude balloon. What did he come back and say? Yeah, the horizon meets eye level. Obviously, it's not a ball. You know, I don't get that. Oh my goodness. And I know the classic one from some of these globe heads, you know, you can see the, what is it? The boat goes over the curve at the beach, so to speak, but then you go, you know, 25 miles up, you know, 121 feet, etc., you know, up. But then, what is it? It's too big to get a curve. So it's small enough down here, but the boat's but then we can pull them back with a powerful zoom. Regardless of what camera, I heard what you were saying about, oh, Nikon this, whatever. Regardless of that, the shit is drawing shit back in. Or even if you've got a powerful scope that can do that, you know what I mean? That cuts through the atmosphere if you've got the correct lens on there and stuff like that, whether it's infrared lens or whatever it is, cuts through the atmosphere. Obviously, the horizon line goes back, and back, if you've got a powerful enough zoom to do that. Because obviously, you know, you was kind of shitting on the sensors, but at the end of the day, we're all made, you know, the universe has made all of its beings and creatures to be able to assess its environment. Yeah, I'm sure bees and whatnot don't have to need mathematics, and you know what I mean. Like, I'm sure if a bee could talk, or any other creature, yeah, there would not be, that hasn't been mind warped and mind effed by the Jesuit order and the gang. Yeah, I'm sure, I'm pretty sure they're not going to be coming with all the fucking, you know, all the type of talk that you lot are going to be coming with. Yeah, they're going to be like, well, yeah, we see the same stars, you know, don't feel any motion. Yeah, and my point is, what is so wrong? Because as I say, I'm happy to be, you know, if it's a globe, it's a globe. If we're hurtling, corkscrewing, and as I say, when I was in school, we wasn't taught that we was corkscrewing, following the sun via its gravitational pull. No, it's gravity pull. It's gravity pull. Yeah. So again, we're spinning 1,000 miles an hour, corkscrewing. Sorry, spinning 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting at 66.6 thousand miles an hour. Yeah, being dragged by the sun's gravity, corkscrewing through the universe. Again, when I was in school, we wasn't taught the corkscrewing bit. Yeah. And I remember the man that came and even suggested that, and then it just spread it like wildfire. And obviously he must be one of the gang, because he quickly blocked me on Facebook when I asked him. I said, what, actually? I wasn't even, what? How is that even possible? The guy, what was his name? Nazarene something, some Indian guy. And at the time, I was all for it. I was like, wow, that's amazing. And then obviously the thing that's now the classic gift of the solar system, corkscrewing through, which obviously I can't even see in my own reality. Just like I can pull up a video, which I'm actually going to do after this, just to show it, just for the fact of it. Do you know what? Oh, oh my God. And the video where I split the screen and you can see the cartoon GIF doing its buffoonery. But if it's real, I should be able to note that and, you know, and somehow note that myself without any mathematics. Yeah. Yeah. And all this counter stuff that you're saying, because the gravity pull and then the centrifugal this and then that from other you know, celestial bodies, that's all in tango and rotation. My point is, when I'm looking at spacewalks, when I'm looking at modules getting connected to the ISS or however they do their thing, or when I'm looking at, you know, even the supposed what we're getting to on this, what we're getting to on this, even the supposed Starman. Yeah, the buffoonery, which is all nonsense, which we're about to get to, but I'm holding out. But anyway, my point is, where is all this corkscrewing business and madness going through the cosmos, mate? Where is all the spinning and corkscrewing? Not to mention space debris, all the ridiculous bits. Even if, because I heard your point, how small are ants in a rainforest if you're looking down from, you know what I mean? Yeah, I get you with that. And obviously you're looking at the blackness of space, but come on, man. You got a space debris. Imagine, all this as well is hurtling supposedly 17,500 miles an hour. Isn't that the same speed that they say that they have to use the rockets to break Earth's gravity pull? But my point is, where is all of this? How many times do you hear them say about they've got plankton is on the you know, on the window of one of their modules or whatever. Or water's now leaked into the astronauts, you know, inside the astronaut suit. They're in a swimming pool. How many bubbles have I seen? And also flappy doors, you know, the vacuum of space. And I heard what you said about that as well. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm not laughing at what you said. I'm just laughing at it is just ridiculous, man. And as I say, if there wasn't any holes in the idiot-centric model, aka via the Jesuit order, yeah, if there wasn't any holes for me to pick on, I wouldn't be, as I say, when I first come across this subject, I thought it was like, why am I even looking at that for? That's dumb. I ain't gonna look at that. Nonsense. And then I said, oh my goodness. Yin and yang, sun and the moon, the same size. It's just not that far away. Wow. You know? Space is dark, but yet the photons magically light up here. And the sun's 93 million miles away. Not to mention the spellcasting with the mantra within all of that. But I've gone over that a bazillion times. I'll leave something in the comment, which is bulletproof also as well. You know, you don't see them coming back attacking my passage because they can't. That long spiel that I write out, and you know the one, if you know the one. If you don't, I'm going to leave it accompanied in the description and the pinned comment of this video. I'm not going to go through that all right now, so feel free to read it. As I say, I may say it later on. Again, I didn't mean to pause the video for so long, but I just had to get that out. And again, just let these people dig their own grave, so to speak, yeah? Before we even really need to deal with the Gamuntra and Grim Reapers. Yeah, let's just see what he goes on to say here, yeah?
Barrison?
But a lot of them aren't from NASA. A lot of them are just artist impressions. A lot of pretty
yeah, but we went to the official NASA site and we still couldn't find much there that would say, well, yeah, you know, that does look impressive.
Screen, like half of them were real pictures. Some of them were, you know, composites. But again, NASA do not care.
Hold on, let me just show this real quick. I have to show this quick because as we're talking about, yeah, we are going to continue with Dave Chappelle and of course the situations and decodes. So again, if real pictures and even if artist impressions, my point is, why are you then compositing it? If it's a real picture, obviously they're just balling it up from something that's flat. And also the way it's all like sealed in as well. There's no gradual, like the way it's all sealed in. Oh my God. Again, that's why it's called a bed of clouds and not a bean bag. Because the bed is flat. Like, I'm sure you realize that, Craig. I mean, come on. It's like, there's so many easy haymakers and holes to look at that it's just like, and I know I can say and you can say, oh, well, you know, look at certain things from this side. But my point is, come on, man, there should be, yeah, with your, so, you know, there's got to be some meeting ground of common ground and logic here. That's my point, yeah? We can get to, okay, stuff that we're never going to be able to, you know, understand or know, you know what I mean? But then there's other bits that it's just like, come on, man. Come on. How can you be giving these people the benefit of the doubt? Really? And especially coming from the same Masonic Jesuit order, you know what I mean? The same gang behind, you know, Celeb 19, terrorism, active shooters, you know what I mean? All types of different genocides, not just, you know, via boosters or anything like that, you know what I mean? And I don't mean you have to be literally dead with the mass genocide. Obviously, Walking Dead, zombies, right? Yeah, not that they haven't been there from a long time, but that's what I'm saying. This is an ongoing thing. Yeah, this is ridiculous. So my point is, hello. Yeah, and obviously you can get these pictures much more crisp, or a little bit more crisp. But my point is, what in the world? Yeah? So clouds clone and copy and paste themselves now? But my point is, why would you do that? I don't hear about artist impression. I don't hear about, you know, what about them other pictures that's got sex in it? You know, when you spin the globe round, you know, that was from official NASA. What about other pictures where you can see they've copied and pasted the Earth in the background from the moon, from precision, you know, when you change the contrast and stuff like that, you know? And there's something I wanted to say as well about the idea of the pictures, but I forgot just now. But anywho, shout out to Conspiracy Music Guru, excuse me, Conspiracy Music Guru. But I mean, unbelievable. You know, if you're not lying about something, you wouldn't be going to all this trouble to be having artist rendition every minute, and those are the ones that populate, you know, the CGIs populate. You know what I mean? Really? Unbelievable. You know.
Artist impressions, a lot of
Right, I'm gonna let it run now. I'm gonna let it play now. I'm not gonna stop it, right, until it's, you know, at the end.
I've literally showed you
that
the
does
ones
look
on the
impressive.
screen, like half of them were real pictures, some of them were, you know, composites. But again, NASA do not care about impressing anyone. Honestly, they don't give a fuck.
Of course, you know what I mean.
So,
especially when they're showing us like stuff like that, they obviously can't be.
I mean, they show us plenty, and you know, give us lots. You know, a lot of the technology that we have in everyday life came from NASA's research and development. You know, it's just, NASA they do a job. They get told what to do by the government. That's it. They're not some secretive organization hiding things from everyone. They get told what to do, and you know, as an American agency, you know, government agency, their budget has to be transparent. You can actually request to see their budget. You can.
And just quickly remember, just always remember, government means what again? Govern your mental. Yeah. So if you're going to give your mind away and your senses, this is the world. More than likely, that's going to be created by nefarious mittens and minds and satanic scumbags. Anywho.
Where every cent that they get from the American government goes, and the majority of it recently goes to SpaceX,
which is a private organization. So
yeah, it's a
what they're
contractor.
actually doing is they're taking money out of the taxpayer's pocket and then giving that to a private organization.
Yeah, because it's a contractor.
You
know, it's just like paying any other contractor. But
but why would NASA subcontract out? Like, you kind of think that,
because
you know,
NASA
the big space race, you wouldn't want everybody knowing about it. You'd kind of want to keep that stuff to yourself. You know, that's what I'd assume from a corporate business sense. It doesn't make good sense to sort of hand over information to a private startup.
NASA aren't a private organization; they're a government agency, and SpaceX are a private company. Yeah, SpaceX are a private company that give their services to people that need it, like NASA. You know,
cars in space.
That was
kind of
an amazing example of the payload capabilities of his.
You don't believe that, do you? I mean, come on, please.
I mean, it happened. A friend of mine tracked it in space.
Car in space? You honestly believe that?
Well, belief is irrelevant. You know, I saw it happen, and I've seen the data.
But I've seen it. You know what I mean?
Oh, so again, you can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Elon Musk quote: just as he puts or pretends to put Starman into orbit in a flipping Tesla car, he comes out into the press conference and says, you can tell it's real because it looks so fake. Look how uneasy he looks when he's talking it. Do I have to pull that clip up as well? Unbelievable. Wow. Wow. Do you know what? I'm going to pull it up.
At Associated Press.
March at NAP. What was going through your mind? How amazed were you to see your roadster up there with Starman just cruising along with the Blue Planet? And how long will we be getting live views, do you think, from the car?
Well, I think it looks so ridiculous and impossible. And you can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly. Like, we'd have way better CGI if it was fake.
Wow.
And you know, the colors all look kind of weird in space. There's no atmospheric occlusion. You know, like everything looks too crisp. But we didn't really test any of those materials for, you know, is it space hardened or whatever, you know. So it just has the same seats that like a normal car has. It's just literally a normal car in space, which I kind of like the absurdity of that. And if you look closely, on the dashboard, there's a tiny roadster with a tiny spaceman. So, because Hot Wheels made a Hot Wheels roadster, and a friend of mine suggested, hey, why don't you put that Hot Wheels roadster with a tiny spaceman on it, you know, in the car too? I'm like, that'd be cool. Sure. So we did that. I mean, it's kind of silly and fun, but I think that's, you know, silly fun things are important. And normally for a new rocket, you know, they'd launch like a block of concrete or something like that. I mean, that's so boring. And I think that's just the imagery of it is something that's going to get people excited around the world. And it's still tripping me out. I mean, I'm tripping balls here.
So, I mean, wow. Wow.
Like, as I say, I'm not impressed, you know what I mean? But, you know, obviously they're not out to impress.
I mean, a car, you know?
Cars in space.
that was a friend of mine tracked it in space. A private company that...
Why would NASA subcontract out? Like, you can't think that...
Because
you know,
NASA don't
the big
have the research
space race, you wouldn't
have.
want everybody knowing about it. You'd kind of want to keep that stuff to yourself. You know, that's what I'd assume from a corporate business sense. It doesn't make good sense to sort of hand over information to a private startup.
NASA aren't a private organization; they're a government agency, and SpaceX are a private company. Yeah, SpaceX are a private company that give their services to people that need it. Like NASA, you know?
Cars in space.
That was an amazing example of the payload capabilities of his
You don't believe that, rocket. Do you? I mean, come on, please.
I mean, it happened. A friend of mine tracked it in space.
Car in space? You honestly believe that?
Well, belief is irrelevant. You know, I saw it happen, and I've seen the data.
But I've seen it, you know what I mean? And it's like, as I say, I'm not impressed, you know what I mean? But, you know, obviously they're not out to impress.
I mean, a car, you know?
Cars in space.
Sorry, I had to hear it again at the time.
Example of the payload capabilities.
But you know, let me forward it, 'cause it's near the end now anyway.
No, a car in space would be impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Like, kind of real, you know what I mean? But, like, how did they get the car into space without doing any modifications to the car? You know,
like, what modifications would it need?
Well, like, you know, tires, for instance, and all like the tires
would
explode in the
why would they
vacuum
explode?
space, surely?
No, there's only a difference of 14.7 psi. Tires are, you know, a lot higher than that. That difference of 14.7 psi from atmospheric pressure at sea level to, you know, zero, practically zero up in space is not going to be enough to make the tires.
Fucking hell. All right, we'll just put this up for a minute. And again, space equals 26. Of course, it's February 6th, 262/6. Again, space equals 26. Of course, there was my dislike from all that time ago. Of course, 4 years ago. Obviously. Okay, now. Oh, I even made a comment. Go figure. Excuse me. Oh, mate, lemon zombie people, mate. Absolutely ridiculous. Don't get me wrong, to a degree, obviously, each to their own. And again, you know, we get Midgard a bit more with the shorting ground, as I've been pointing out. But damn. Wow. You just still would think, with all the obviousness, you know, coming from the gang, you just would think that the people would have, you know, a bit more, again, strength in numbers, you know what I mean? And fortify against the fucking, you know, madness and buffoonery, especially for, you know, the children of tomorrow. No, the children of, what I usually say? The children of the tomorrow are the future of today, you know? So, wow, poor children. That's all I can say, you know, poor children, man. Wow. You know, those that are born via certain people or get brought up under, you know, via certain people, they get brought up, you know, in other people's fold. You know what I mean? Damn. Crazy. Wow. So anyway, let's get this on full screen. 40, let's get that 720. I remember seeing one of their rocket landing on the barge in the ocean, SpaceX. And Jeranism. Oh, and another thing. You keep loving to show that the laser experiment with Bob Nadell, and it's like, I'm sure I'm gonna have to rewatch it, but or rewatch what the thing was to say that, oh, you know how Netflix, you know, trying to stitch up true earthers, you know what I mean, regardless what you want to say about that individual, because I know some people will say, oh, well, some of these people seem like they're, you know, control the position anyway. But anyway, my point is, you know, you can't tell me that torus fields aren't real. You can't tell me surely that the ether's not real. You know, what's spinning the atmosphere, it's pretty obvious. But yeah, the way they stitched him up and the way you lot use that little bit is hilarious, with that laser bit there. Unbelievable. And don't even bring up that pendulum swing nonsense to me. I'm so sorry. Again, same with level Earth observer. Yeah, that's why I'm sure he wouldn't even bother to, you know, cordial or not, it's a waste of time to even have a discussion or a debate. It's a waste, not because we're trying to win anything, it's just the point of, hold up. Yeah, come on, this is clearly obvious. And again, regardless of the energy field being round and we're on a flat stationary plane, hold up, yeah, it doesn't take away from the fact that we live on top of the earth, not inside of the earth. So all that traveling car, you know, like you lot will try and pull that one, or if you're on a moving train or a plane, mate, go on top of the plane. Stand on top of the car, innit? And if we're in elliptic orbits, that's going to speed up and slow down. Come on. I told you I'm not the one. I told you I'm not the one. I'm not saying I'm all that, but yeah, the shit that I'm coming with or will say, you know, is bulletproof. Yeah, it's bulletproof. I know it is. That's why I say it. Yeah, and that's why I follow the numbers, because I know that's bulletproof as well with what it shows and the multi-layered, faceted, just like with True Earth and the torus field and the perpetual energy flow. What's recycling, you know, the seasons, and even what you are, what's powering your body. You know what I mean? And even it tells you, you know, it's self-generating, hence why, you know, your cuts heal. Obviously, other things are working in tandem that factor in, obviously. I'm not just on about your torus fields and stuff, you know, and your chakras spinning and twirling around. But again, my point is we live on top of the earth. Yeah, yes, there's an energy field around it. Again, yeah. Next thing you're going to tell me, oh, you haven't got a torso and there's no torus field around your body. I mean, it's just like, I'm not saying you're going to say that, but that's what I would, you know, I can't expect from all the other, you know, as Leo, aka Level Earth Observer, would say, complete and utter tosh. Yeah, this is fucking ridiculous. So again, I'm going to leave the extra long spiel in the comments. Let me play this. Absolutely ridiculous. So let's just see. So again, you saw this like how I saw this. Oh, and let me quickly say as well before we continue, because I was almost going to say something to do with Jeranism, and that's why I kind of segued into Bob Nadell. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I remember I was watching Jeranism, and they clocked to that on a couple of their SpaceX went re-entry with some of that BS, you know, and the camera's always looking back at the Earth. Hey, I want to see where we're going. Why is the camera always looking back at the boosters showing Earth? Not to mention the little shit graphic that they will show you as well in between that, and it's just like, oh my god. Anyway, my point is, again, I'm not saying it's supposed to look like some, you know, something from PlayStation 5 or Xbox or something, but like, fucking hell. Anyway, my point is, it lands on the barge, but when it lands on the barge, my point is, you know, every wave is going to be different, right? Like a fingerprint. You do know that, yeah? Every wave via the sea, yeah? You do know that. I know you do. So what are the odds, as it was shown, and I've got it somewhere because I show it in a video somewhere or in a playlist to do with space. So obviously, you know, check it out. 2 different landings from SpaceX from 2 different occasions. How comes the ripple of the water is exactly the same when you pause it? when this rocket is landing on the barge. How is that possible? Why would you use old footage if it's supposed to be new footage and we're watching something live? Yeah. So my point is, what you see and what you feel you believe, and because you're getting data, doesn't mean that's actually, you know, the real deal in the actuality of the world. All right, Craig? Because I know how you do that kind of one there. Like you're kind of condescending, patronizing. Like I see the way you do little. But I'm kind of doing it back to you right now as well. That's why I was just laughing, because fucking hell. But as I said, I see the game and I can't do that type of tango. Yeah, my point is, as I said before, there should be so many parts of this that you should be like, wow, there are some holes over here actually. Yeah, the whole Copernican and all that type of stuff, and you know, the so-called founders, you know what I mean, and then all the other people from beforehand, you know, that's been doing, you know, real you know, recesses of the mind without having to have some instrument floating around with a satellite or whatever the case may be. My point is, there's people that's gone into the deep recesses of the mind, you know, projecting out their bodies, astral projection, astral traveling. Yeah, that's what the ancestors were on. Hence why these scumbags now will demonize your rites of passage to a degree, but then they still start to bring it up only lately in so many years. I don't know, be it 15, 20 years. But then very slowly, and obviously much more in the last 5 years, obviously things to help, you know, PTSD, whatever the case may be, depression, anxiety, obviously things like mushrooms, MDMA, ayahuasca, DMT, obviously that's the same type of thing anyway, you know, but obviously you got the drinking form ayahuasca, and obviously you got the smoking form, which is much more shorter. But my point is, come on, mate, you think, you know, when they show you certain things with Doctor Strange or flipping, you know, even Ant-Man, you know, it ain't no joke thing as such, like, you know. So, anyway, let me play this. Is this playing here? What does that mean? Oh, yeah, here we go. Yep, it's playing. And then what I'll do, I'll quickly just do the Dave Chappelle, maybe one more, and then I'll pop this upload up and then get onto the next one, because there's a little bit to get through. I mean, really? Again, chemtrails always straight, unless them themselves are doing, you know, besides standard noughts and crosses like they do in the sky, but obviously if they do some curly whirly or something, you know what I mean? That's it. Not for miles and miles straight chemtrails. Does it dip down around the curve? Like, really? Oh, right. As I say, man, it body bags you naturally itself, you know, the heliocentric buffoonery. That's what I said. You just keep digging your own grave. Yeah? Keep digging it, friend. As I say, we're trying to do our best over here, you know, and obviously, you know, because we can already see through the spell, and that's what we're dispelling. We're trying to aid others, but, you know, we've got all you differentials here, so it's not for everybody, and I get that, you know, so it is what it is, but I definitely have to show this again. This is not some big get back video or nothing like that, or some type of, you know, back and forth type of thing like that. No. You know, it's not that at all. So I don't think it is one of those type of videos. Again, we just let this roll around again. And so what is this then? It's just put in somewhere like the IMAX. They've got some lighting system in there that works as well in real time with the rotation, obviously. You know what I mean? You got some IMAX panoramic thing or something that's coming around. Some type of shit like that's going on, obviously. And again, where's all the corkscrewing, all the madness? Again, you know, they'll always come up some shit, okay, we can see all the twinkle little stuff from here, but then they will say something about the shutter speed or whatever it is, you know what I mean, on the camera, you know, light occlusion, all this type of stuff, you know what I mean? They dance. And just how the same way them like that supposedly went to the moon, one will say, oh yes, yes, we could see this and that, and then the other one will say, oh, I couldn't see anything. Oh, I couldn't see anything. And next one now, oh, I could see plenty stars. Oh man, and you got the other one that sounds extra dumb. You can see stars, moons. What's his name again? Dom Petty. The one that says, oh, we destroyed that technology that we used to go to the moon, and it's a difficult process to make that technology again. Really? Do I have to bring up the homeless person shelter, which is the fucking lunar module? And you mean to tell me the you know, the fucking oven foil and shit that's on there, curtain rods? I mean, come on, man. The A4 paper or cardboard. Craig. Oh my God, nah. Yo, FTFE. Yo. Yo, by the time this video is up, feel free to, you know, message or email anything you want to say, yeah? Because I had to put a stop on that the other day, but I am going to fucking unblock ya. And if you want to say anything, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, if you still want to be aggressive, say whatever you want to say. Yeah, I'm going to unblock ya. Because what you was doing the other day was just so unnecessary. It's just beyond belief. Yeah, where I'm still showing ya. You know, I'm there trying to nullify and just, you know what I mean? Find some common ground again. We can have some banter, but again, listen, if you really want to have some banter on this, listen, you get destroyed effortlessly. Again, where's all the crazy corkscrewing going through? Spin 1,000 miles per hour, orbiting at 66.6 thousand miles an hour. Didn't you say anything that's in the orbit of the Earth in rotation going around? You got the 17,500 miles an hour. Yeah, so you've got the fucking debris, you've got the satellites, you know, tens of thousands. Oh, really? You got fucking the ISS. You got this up there. You got all this corkscrewing going on. How could we still see the same stars? How comes Polaris, which is obviously just like the sun and the moon, does the figure eight, and in the hourglass, that's the torus field. It's on the track of the torus fields because there's, you know, different torus fields doing their thing, the fundamentals of nature, you know, just like Polaris, the North Star, you know, everything circles it. And then you say the one opposite on the other side. Again, cogs in a watch is the perfect timepiece. Cogs in the watch are going opposing to each other, right? Hello? Opposing cogs in a watch? Yeah. So this is my point. Effortless haymakers, but I'm not trying to haymaker you. I'm just saying, wake your ass up. This is bullshit. Look, here they go now. Look, you see the back boosters. Then they're gone to the fucking bullshit graphics. Where's the sound on this though? I can't hear nothing. But anyway, I think we've seen enough of that. Let's keep it moving, man. Let's forward it a sec. Look. I mean, just look at this. Oh my God. How is anybody even still on the fence? How can you even be, oh, I'm neutral? How is that possible? You know the gang's doing the spells. You can see, like, I mean, what? Oh my God. Listen, yo, you lot smashed it. Fuck it up. Again, each to their own, but I am definitely going to have a good chuckle at your expense. Forevermore. Yeah, not just you, so don't take it personal, just in general, because this is ridiculous. Be it, you know, real, you wouldn't have to lie so much. You wouldn't have to have all your green screen glitches, people disappearing, going down, you know, the aisle, so to speak, of the ISS, and he floats around the corner, and he disappears as he's going around the corner. If it's real, why is he disappearing when he's floating around the corner? Oh my God. All this I've brought up how many times? And as I say, you ain't nowhere to be seen, because somebody like me, listen, my guy was going to a nice little level, but he was missing a couple of things last night, Mr. Cheswick. Shout out to Mr. Cheswicks, yeah? Shout out to you. If you want to collaborate on any videos or anything like that, or just have a chat, feel free. You know what I mean? But as I say, feel free to take some pointers that you can remember and be like, what, actually, if he, you know, if Audio Oracle over there, or AKA more, if he don't want to, you know, do the tango, because what's the point? Actually, he's maybe me, you know, made me remember a couple of bits, and you know what? Let's have a round two, Mr. FTFE. So, you know, you can do that as well. You know what I mean? That'll be fantastic. I will be there to watch. and to see what goes down, because as I say, I'm not saying that maths is bullshit in its entirety. I'm just saying you can make shit up, that shit that to shit that will calculate to whatever, then shit that is also in conjunctive with a bit of true lies. So you've got the shit that's bullshit, the shit that's true lies, and then something that is actually truly, you know, actually grounded, you know what I mean? It's solid, you know what I mean? With what you're coming with. Okay, that's Teflon bulletproof. Okay, fantastic, I get it, etc., etc. But you see, you lot intertwine and mishmash a whole lot of bullshit together. And as I say, I don't know if you're paid to do it, or even if you're not paid to do it, troll, turbulence troll, or even if you're going to be nice in the video like yesterday. But my point is, whether you're controlled opposition, paid or not, yeah, my point is, what is your brain really functioning on if you're, you know, so logical and, you know, you work with, you know, measurable, observable, repeatable, hence the name of my channel originally, measurable, observable, repeatable, because Gematria and just like True Earth and how it merges with the spellcast, I haven't gone into it here, maybe next video, and as I say underneath this video, I will leave that same spill, which is untouchable, yeah? And as I say, as the parts of these videos continue in the day, I will be going back to certain things to do with, you know, how we've been already, you know, talking about stuff and sidebarring, etc., etc. As I say, it's going to be a slow burn, but I love the slow burns when, you know, it's of this type of nature, because I'm having a good time and I don't mind killing them softly, but you know what I mean? But they're killing them softly. They're getting it. I know they're getting it. So you're getting obliterated right now, effortlessly. And I'm not saying I'm all that. I'm just saying I know these points are solid. Yeah? If you can make it make sense, fantastic. I'm all ears. I'm all up to hear it. Give me the visuals, etc., etc. You know what I mean? Or let me know something I can see without getting the visuals from you. If I can, you know, I can, you know, see it for myself easily, etc., etc. You know what I mean? Obviously, I might not be able to get some special apparatus that you might say, but my point is, I see the same stars every flipping day. Boats will use the stars to you know, get to and fro across the sea, and not just on the sea. You know what I mean? Obviously, on land as well. Yeah. Birds use it, obviously. You know, migration, sea animals, creatures, etc., etc. Yeah. The magnetics, the forces, you know what I mean? Swirling around, you know? And I might have messed up slightly. I'm not saying that they use the stars when it comes to the animals as such, but obviously there's a force in nature that obviously why they follow and go to certain places, etc., etc., because of the magnetic field, the energy, you know what I mean? They've got certain, you know, features on these creatures, you know what I mean? To let them, you know, pick up these magnetic forces, for them to have that intuitive, you know, motion to be like, okay, we're going this direction and migrate over here for so long, and you know what I mean? Whether it's turtles, whether it's, you know. And my point is, if there ain't no torus field or ether and whatnot, because I'm sure that's what your stance is, right? And obviously I can prove that easily, and it's not no cartoons. We can bring up Ferrocells, hello. Like, yeah, and again, the black and white lines going across your eyes, which when your eyes adjust, you can open your eyes and still see it. That's your torus field of energy. Again, you can see that when you're in a dark room. So again, what are you talking about? Yeah, and on concentration, you can change the spin, because I've done that. So, I don't know. So, yeah. Alright guys, I'm just going to quickly do this quick decode. It's going to take like 60 seconds, not even. And quickly, they have gone on to say that his name's not going to be at the school, Dave Chappelle, because it says, you know, he announces theatre. Sorry, Dave Chappelle announces theatre at his old high school won't be named after him following outcry. Because basically there was going to name, you know, whatever it was after him. Remember, he started off with the 38 before. Remember, with the nigger, or, you know, however you spell it, with the ER or A at the end. Anyway, one of those is 38. Excuse the background noise, if you can hear any. I will wait for that to calm down a bit before I do the next part anyway, so hopefully the time this uploads and all does all that malarkey. So Now, remember he did the Netflix special, right? And then he had the, as you can see down here, yeah, he did the Netflix special. And then he had the trans man that ran on stage, right? Where am I going with this? So watch this. And that was all staged, by the way, you know, just like Will Smith, just like Celeb 19, just like how many other things that we, you know, say over here. That's clearly scripted. All right, let me go back here. Oh, that should be around. The pictures are separated. Oh, here we are, right here. Now, note Dave Chappelle is 118. And before we continue, well, actually, don't worry, I'll show you in a sec. Anyway, so Dave Chappelle equals 118, right? So watch this now. Hold up. 118 should be. Sorry, guys, give me one moment here. Oh, here it is. Yeah, when he did the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, yeah, for the Netflix special. So again, Hollywood Bowl equals 53. Los Angeles equals 53. It was a trans man that, you know, heckled him. So trans man also equals 53. Gender and transgender equals 53. When was it on? And they had a big thing to do with transgender rights on this day as well, which was the 3rd of May, or I should say May 3rd, yeah, because 53, yeah. Again, I'm not pulling numbers out of my backside, and we just saw that Dave Chappelle equals 118. So when this is in the news, going back to the Netflix special and the transgender heckler, or going from that to when, you know, the school stuff is in the news about his name might be used, you know, in the school, whatever. 1 month, 18 days. Dave Chappelle equals what again? 118. So, oh, not that one. It was around here. Boom. Yeah. Right, guys. I'm gonna catch you on the next one. And yeah, we're gonna get through all the situations that we need to get through. So hold tight. Wholeness, flat mother love. Wholeness, flat mother loving power. Spread love and light. Hashtag don't be a basic beast brainer. And of course, give gracious gratitude, but take no shit.